Welcome to Feminist Frequency Radio. This is the show that asks you to be critical of the media you love. I'm Kat Spada.
And I'm AC Lamberty, and...
this is Annette Benning, and the kids are all right. I need parenting advice from you like I need a dick in my ass.
For the first episode of our season, focusing on the family, we're discussing the 2010 film The Kids Are All Right, directed by Lisa Cholodenko and written by Cholodenko with Stuart Bloomberg. A success story of low-budget indie film history, the movie was produced for $4 million before becoming a huge hit at Sundance and being picked up for distribution by Focus Features. Widely acclaimed and a box office success, the film was one of the first mainstream movies with a queer family at its center. Among its accolades were Oscar nominations for Best Picture, Original Screenplay, Annette Bening as lead actress, and Mark Ruffalo as supporting actor. Julianne Moore, Mia Wasikowska, and Josh Hutcherson co-star.
Hey, Bug. Don't be back late.
I know.
Come give us a hug before you go. Hugs.
Hug her. That's what she's there for. Have you thought any more about making that call?
That could really hurt Mom's feelings.
How can you not even be curious about it?
Each of my moms had a kid with your sperm?
Liking both of them.
Uh-huh, liking gay.
Right on. Cool. I love lesbians.
Great.
I get it. He's their biological father and all that crap. Like, we're not enough or something?
I never thought they'd use my stuff.
Why not? I'd use it.
Donor dad, stone cold fox. Is he single? First of all, you.
You met him, and that's cool. And now we can move on.
I want to see him again.
You do?
You do? So great to meet you.
Go easy on the wine, hon. It's daytime.
Okay. Same goes for the micromanaging. Okay.
So how'd you two meet?
I was a resident, and Jules had an emergency.
My tongue was numb.
And I told her to relax. And then my tongue started working again.
Oh my God.
The plan was to limit his involvement.
You're not gonna stick that, bro.
He's not a father. He's our sperm donor.
I just keep seeing my kids' expressions in your face.
Really?
Really? I feel like he's taking over my family.
Whoa, wow. Okay, what's that look you're giving me?
That's no look. That's just my face.
Driving home on a motorcycle. This is something I just never allow.
Mom, I'm 18 years old. I've just felt so far away from you lately.
Why'd you donate sperm?
It just seemed like a lot more fun than donating blood. Hey, I'm glad I did.
Marriage is hard. Two people, year after year. Sometimes you stop seeing the other person.
To an unconventional family.
Nick and Jules Allgood are a lesbian couple and the parents of teenagers Joni and Laser. It is never explained why the son is named Laser. It is explained why the daughter is named Joni. We will get to that. Now that Joni is 18, she's able to reach out to the sperm bank where Nick and Jules conceive their kids and find out about the donor used to conceive her and Laser, which she does at her younger brother's request. When they meet their biological dad, organic restaurant owner and BMW motorcycle rider Paul, the three form a bond. When Nick and Jules find out Paul is now in their kids' lives, they all start to spend time together. Nick is resistant to Paul being too involved in their lives, but Jules pursues more, becoming his landscaper and soon embarking on an affair with him. But when it's time for the core family of four to drive Joni off to college, are the kids indeed all right?
I wish I could start singing a Joni Mitchell song right now.
Like Annette Bening does at dinner?
For a prolonged period.
Oh my God. Well, I was going to say we use that Patty Harrison clip in the intro, but there were so many like truly iconic Annette Bening moments in this movie.
Can we take a moment to just praise Annette Bening, period?
She's so good. She's so good. It's always a pleasure.
She is good in everything. Yeah. I know you're obsessed with her sister-in-law, Shirley MacLaine.
Oh my God, so much. Yeah.
What must their conversations be like?
I feel like Annette Bening entertains some low-grade spirituality with Shirley, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And knows how to keep a distance and keeps it normal.
Yeah, and they're like 20 years apart in age, but
yeah,
so good. I have to say, like, I have loved Annette Bening for so long. Yeah, I mean, I watched Naiad for her.
I was gonna say, that's fucking Naiad.
And you know what? She was incredible in Naiad. It was incredible what she did in that movie.
Oh, man.
Like,
she's
a
great.
movie that never needed to be made, but but it's incredible what she did in it. I love the movie Film Stars Don't Die in Liverpool.
I've never even heard of that, I don't think.
It's a little movie. I've watched it several times. You will like it a lot.
Okay.
She plays the actress Gloria Graham, who was in It's a Wonderful Life and won an Oscar for a few things. Like, she was an actress, big actress early in the 20th century, but later in life, like, she had a lot of very controversial relationships with younger men. And this movie is about her later years with lover Jamie Bell, playing a young actor dancer that she was involved with.
Nice.
And it's like she's a weird character, and she has like a very girlish voice and like doesn't really accept that she's aged, And Annette Bening does just an incredible job in it. So good.
She is mother number one. Mother number two.
Yeah.
Julianne Moore. Always happy to see her. My gay guy favorite actress ever.
Love Julianne Moore, but I thought she was like weird in this movie.
She had me laughing my ass off. I mean, besides her like being kind of racist, which I actually found really quite disgusting. Like, I don't know, not to get too into the politics part yet, but like that, I was like, wow, that's very of the time. Like, for this to be a big white lib movie. But in general, I found Julianne incredibly charming and funny. But that could be gay guy brainworms. So.
I was getting a little bit of like her in 30 Rock energy. And I was like, oh, I think when she goes big, it's just kind of like it's too big or something. Because I love her when she does her little like Far From Heaven, The Hours, like these more subtle performances. But then she gives a killer speech at the end of this.
Tortured woman.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. It's no secret. Your mom and I are in hell.
So look, this is 2010. This is Hollywood being like, ho, we did it. We've got a gay family. I also had to kind of remind myself, like, this is before Prop 8 in California. So I was thinking about this, like, they're described as a married couple, and technically they could have gotten married in 2008 for a short period of time before that was stayed, and then like gay marriage became legal in the state in 2013. But I mean, I remember growing up in LA with like family friends who were, having commitment ceremonies, and that it was still this perspective that, like, I think was very much a dominant mood of the early 2000s and 2010s that was like assimilation into heterosexual nuclear family culture.
Right.
Being
marriage equality politics kind of thing.
The pinnacle of like what gay culture wanted to look like. Like, see how unthreatening we are? We're just moms. Like, that seemed like kind of part of what this movie is born out of.
For sure. I also think it's along with it being such a different political time for gay people, it was such a different time for the film industry. Like the Sundance origins of this were so interesting to me, and really I was like, this does not happen anymore.
Right.
Like, so this was a Sundance like crowd favorite. I don't know if it won anything, but it was a Sundance premiere in 2010. It had a $4 million budget, was in competition as an indie, like didn't come into the festival with distribution, and then got picked up by Focus. And then it made $20 million at the domestic box office, which I was truly shocked by. Like, that was wild, especially like you're, talking about the political climate, like to take a chance on a very specific kind of queer film, and then it like actually pays dividends for for you that's kind of crazy. I don't know.
This was still a time, I mean, looking at the fact when I was reading about the like box office release, how it just like kept rolling out. Like it opened in a small number of theaters and then more and more and more. I was like, God, we used to let movies gain an audience.
Yeah.
And
right?
like grow and word of mouth and reviews. And then for it to then become Oscar nominated for Best Picture, then it like goes back into theaters and people want to see the Best Picture nominees. And it's probably, it's like one of the easiest movies to enter. Like it's so casual and like you said, day in the life. But
yeah, I was gonna say it is so watchable. That's many of the notes I wrote included that. It is so, I don't know, it just nails a very specific tone of that time period, I think, that I also wrote down, I feel like is mostly reserved for TV these days. Like this kind of dramedy, family, relationship-oriented sexuality, like Dying for Sex, for example, I feel like is in the kind of Venn diagram of tone here. I feel like this is like a movie that you don't see very much anymore in many ways, including that.
It's the precursor to The Fosters. Right? Like, which is, it's about the kids, but they have two moms. Right. Also, I love how these, like, when Hollywood was first like, okay, we're gonna have gay couples, we're gonna put like famous straight actors in these roles, but they very much fit into this, like, they have to be an odd couple. Like, there had to be this sort of like gender dynamic. And Lisa Cholodenko, who wrote this, like, she's a lesbian. She wrote this from personal experience. Like, she was in the midst of having her child by sperm donation at the time of making this movie. But there is something that I feel like is very palatable to your Oscar audience, where it's like, oh, well, one of them is a doctor and the other one is a sort of avant-garde, like, has tattoos. There has to be this, like,
it is
coded.
Like, well, there's a boy and there's a girl, but even like in a more like coastal elite way, it's like there is a breadwinner, there is a like there is always like a very kind of staid binary, which I don't know. I was also thinking about this in relation to a lot of the scenes in like where there are conflict or there's fighting or there are big family discussions, which, is a lot of this movie. I would say like every fourth scene is like a capital B big convo. Like, I think a lot of the kind of lesbianic approach to relationships is played for laughs in this movie, but it is still quite novel to me to see this kind of like approach to conflict resolution and understanding your partner and stuff like that. So I don't know. I think there's kind of a double-edged sword of this being the representation of like queer women at the time versus there being truths to it, which is always kind of my like sticky spot with representation. But
I am an avid listener of The Gay Amazing Race, a podcast hosted by previous Feminist Frequency guest Karen Thompson, which just watches The Amazing Race and focuses on gay moments in every episode. But they are always talking about whenever there are lesbian couples on the show, the way that you can tell both of them have been to therapy.
Totally.
How they talk about problem solving and how they talk about conflict and difficulty is so different from all the other structures of couples that are on the show.
Or like the ultimatum queer love versus the regular ultimatum, which is a horror show. I mean, both are horrible, but it's completely different.
The in a gay couple, there's a boy and a girl thing. I think I can't remember if I said this on the podcast before, but it really, I think when we talked about Glee, I might have brought up Modern Family, which premiered in 2009, so we're right at the same time here.
Modern Family definitely was on my mood board while watching this for the first time.
Like I loved it at first. Like, it was such like a fun sitcom to watch at the beginning, and then it started to really kind of startle me, where I was like, we are more advanced than this. This is a family in Los Angeles where there are two straight couples where the women don't work, like the women stay at home. And then in the gay couple, every conversation about them being gay is about how Mitchell is the wife.
Yep.
And I was like, why is that where you're getting all of your humor from?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
And I'm curious in that same vein about like the reception of this among queer people at the time, because I mean, I'll get to a Letterboxd review that I read the other day, but I can feel that it would be in many ways unsatisfying for this to be like a gigantic studio release and for the plot to be about a lesbian, you know, falling for a man in some way. Like, I totally get that. But also in present day, I'm like, that is a nuanced exploration, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
So I'm curious how that played then versus now. But even now, I read this crazy Letterboxd review from like 2025. It was from this year, like earlier this year, that is feels like such a 2025 particular type of lens on this movie, which is like, why are straight people playing lesbians? Why is it always trauma? Why did they stay together? Why did they get divorced at the end? This is gaslighting and cheating, and like in such a like identity focused way that was really interesting for me to like see this language applied to something from 2010 or whatever, whenever this came out, and like it just like didn't quite square, but I don't know, but is all part of the same conversation. It's just very interesting to me.
Yeah, like
the queer politics of it.
There's definitely a rigidity in the need to like, well, how can she define herself as a lesbian? She's clearly bisexual. And it's like, I don't think that matters to this movie.
Yeah.
And I don't think it matters to a lot of people in their lives.
And even to those characters in particular, it doesn't seem, you know, like I did really like that about this movie. It seemed like the identity labels may be clear to the outside viewer, but then they complicate them in a really interesting way that feels very true to life. You know, true to a lot of people that I know, myself, you know, all of that. Like, very interesting to me in that way.
The problem with Jules' affair is that she has an affair and the reasons why she has one, but then that she is inappropriately tearing down the boundaries between them and this sperm donor. Like, that's the problem. It doesn't really matter that it's like at no point is Nick, when she confronts her or figures it out, like, you strayed with a man. Like, that's not the issue for her, you know?
Which I found really refreshing and like nice. I don't know. It was cool.
And it's like a lot of people have experiences with people of all of other genders. Like, it doesn't necessarily mean one thing or another for the movie, except for like the way that Paul, like Mark Ruffalo, like is clueless. Like, I think he kind of plays into like, okay, well, I guess we're going to be a nuclear family now. And it's like, get out of here.
Yeah.
Literally no one wants to talk to you.
I do love him so much, but I found him a little repellent in this movie.
Yeah. I think that's supposed to be like
by design.
Yeah. Gosh, I for years did not like get the appeal of Mark Ruffalo. And I'm trying to remember. It was pretty recently. I think it was for the podcast. We did Anita and I were watching
Dark Waters.
No, well, we watched the one with Meg Ryan, In the Cut.
Oh, he is so fine in that movie. Oh my God, it's crazy.
Well, I think that was the first time I saw him being like an actually disgusting character. And I was used to seeing him as like, I'm just like this lovable goof. And I was like, that was never really working for me.
Like 13 going on 30, I don't buy that. Like, there's something sinister there.
But then in this movie, when he's on the phone with his daughter and she says, our moms don't know that we're reaching out to you. And he's like, moms? 2 of them? And she goes, yeah, 2, as in gay. he goes, I love lesbians. And then like grimaces, like, why did I just say that? And I was like, I get him. Like, he is perfect for these roles where he's like undeniably handsome, but you can tell that he's a loser.
He's like kind of a lug, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, him saying to Laser, the child Laser, who is like, did you donate a lot of sperm? And his answer is, yeah, I did a little bit of that back then.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Seemed more fun than giving blood.
He like, I did write this in my own Letterboxd review that this is Lisa Cholodenko's theorem, which is Pasolini's movie where a hot stranger comes into your family and destroys everybody from the inside out sexually. It's like, yeah, he did that.
I haven't seen any of her other movies. I've seen Unbelievable, the show that she was heavily involved in.
I know High Art, her first feature with Ali Sheedy, got like a restoration and a re-release on, I want to say Criterion, or maybe it was just like an American Cinematheque kind of re-release thing.
Yeah.
But I hear that's great. Very similar themes, like lesbian relationship threatened.
Let's talk about these kids. They're all right.
Are they?
Well,
honestly, yeah, they'll be fine. They have rich lesbian moms in like Silver Lake or whatever. It's fine.
No, they're great. Like, I thought that there was some great like masculine dynamic between Paul and Laser. I was like, oh, there's very much a like, there's a boy in a home with only women, and he has no, he's aimless, and he like yearns for some sort of masculine presence. So that's why he has this like dork ass friend that he hates,
who wants to piss on a dog.
Who wants to piss on a dog, and the parents are like, he sucks. But then whenever he gets like, he's the one who wants to meet the father. And there's a great moment where he's like, so, like, what are you into? The kid plays sports, and the dad's like, oh, yeah, I'm not really into, like, team stuff. And it was like, oh, this is so, like, they're just so unmatched. I really appreciated that.
Yeah. I also thought the entry into that conversation where Mark Ruffalo is like, well, I just want, like, if you guys have any questions, like, feel free to ask me whatever you want. And the kids are like, well, we don't really have any questions. That is what it's like to interact with Gen Z. Like, nobody has questions. It's kind of like, okay, like, that's just it. Yeah, I thought the kid acting was particularly good. I love that Mia Wasikowska. I think she's great.
Yeah.
Zasha Mamet stuns as insane best friend.
She's incredible in this. Like, every line she gives, she's always like, why aren't you fucking, to her friend.
But in the most like 2003 way of saying it.
Yeah. She's like,
why aren't you taking the train to Bone Town?
She's the Olivia Thirlby of this movie.
Totally.
And then she has like one final scene where she's like racist to Yaya DaCosta.
It was so fucked up. I literally said, shout out to Zasha Mamet. Good team performances, except for her being racist.
Yeah.
It's so crazy.
I'm always happy to see ANTM alumna Yaya DaCosta. It was a small role in this movie. And then just like casual racism from Zasha Mamet being the thing she was doing in the 2010s.
Fully, for sure. Well, I mean, then there's how Julianne Moore treats her fucking like gardener contractor guy, which is like literally racist.
Yes.
So like, it was really unfortunate having to watch. I'm being like, oh my god, I love seeing sex in movies. Yeah, that's amazing. Like, we're so back, and her being like actively racist.
Yeah.
To this guy she's working with in the exact next moment. So wild.
Not only is she being racist to him, but the movie is being racist to him. It's not showing like, look how... There's a lot of like, Nick, played by Annette Bening, is like, she's got her shit together in the sense that she's like a doctor, and she's very responsible, and she's proud of the one child who's like smart and going to school, but she's critical of the other one who is directionless. And the wife, like, impulse buys a truck and is going to maybe try to get a business going, but, like, I don't know, not really, kind of spiritual woo-woo. Except, of course, that the doctor has a drinking problem. And when we're seeing Julianne Moore's, like, it's inappropriate that she engages with Paul as his landscaper. She wears a thong to do landscaping, which tells me a lot. And then she has this one worker that she's hired, and not only is it like the fact that you are fucking your client while your employee is like there working is, you need to be reported. Like, that is just not appropriate.
Fucked up, yeah.
But then the film itself, like the lens of the camera is looking at this guy. He's like waggling his eyebrows. Like,
yeah, it's like a weird little caricature moment.
Yes, very clownish portrayal of him.
It's real. I mean, this just makes me think again of the release and distribution strategy, right? Like choosing a specific type of queer film to be a wide audience release. Like, especially in 2010, it was such a 2010 comedy type of moment. Like, I don't know, it just really makes sense that this was like something that was included in a mainstream queer film, just, despite feeling like that would be at odds with those kind of values. It, frequently is not.
Well, because this is just like the whitest movie. I mean,
oh my God, for sure.
And especially like Mark Ruffalo, like we can tell he is cool because he's like sleeping with his black girlfriend, not even his girlfriend, like she's his coworker. Wait, he owns the restaurant. Again, he is sleeping with his employee.
Yeah. And then he's like, I actually don't think we should do this. I'm ready to have a family, which is like, oh my God.
Yeah, I'm ready to settle down with Julianne Moore. Like I just looked it up because I was like, when did Short Bus come out? Like Short Bus came out in 2006,
Yeah, that's crazy.
Like 4 years later, here's what we're doing. I mean, I say this all to be like, I think that watching this movie today, and I did see it when it came out, but watching it today, it feels so slow and kind of boring and unnecessary because...
Shaggy.
Yeah, and partially because it paved the way for more movies like this to be made with different perspectives or with more like advanced storytelling.
Yeah.
But
I was going to say, it is like one of the best versions of this type of movie that I have really ever seen. And I think it is like one of the OGs because I feel like there are a ton of these that come out of festivals these days and they're all pretty bad. Pretty, I don't know. This is a boring critique because this isn't really the pod, but like I thought it was pretty screenwriting 101 in terms of what happens. And again, like we said, every fourth scene is like a big conversation moment, but it's so watchable and the acting is so good. And it is just like, man, I don't know. Sometimes it's nice to see a messy white lesbian couple.
Yeah.
Even if that is the only thing we have seen on TV and film for the past like 25 years,
If this was not a gay movie, it would have been like Joan Allen and, I don't know. I just do feel like there's a lot of these like small family movies that they were making for a really long time. I'm taking my straight
Kids Are All Right remake to Paramount right now. And I will get the green light.
Barry Weiss is like, check, please. I guess that's not, whatever. Who gives a shit? Why was I just like listening to a radio reviewer of The Running Man? And they were like, how is this a Paramount movie? Like, what is it claiming to say about these type of corporations?
Literally anything. Wait, okay, segue, actually. I was reading the Rotten Tomatoes consensus on The Kids Are All Right. It says, okay, worthwhile is both a well-acted ensemble piece and as a smart, warm statement on family values. The Kids Are All Right is remarkable. And I was kind of like, what is this statement on family values, though, ultimately? Besides being like, a family can look like anything, even lesbians. That's crazy. You know what I mean?
I think that the thing that's maybe striking about the last act of this movie is that it doesn't seem like they're even considering divorce. Like that, I think, is what kind of, it just doesn't even come up as, does this threaten our marriage?
Right.
The way that they talk about, like, we are in hell, we are struggling. I did this and it's not an excuse, but I was acting out for these reasons. There is sort of this feeling of like, we are a family, like we have vowed to be together. And so how are we going to weather it? And the final kind of moment of like them holding hands just, I think, shows that like this is a bump in the road. But
which I do think is still pretty novel. Like I said earlier, like that type of communication and conflict resolution is like cool to see. Even if they do play it a bit, again, like the framing of this like laborer that she's working with. I mean, I do think sometimes the director really does frame it as like a comedy thing, the like processing lesbian kind of stereotype stuff. But even underneath that, I still like appreciate it. Like, good for you guys.
Okay, so you brought up sex in movies, but I do remember how much of a conversation the gay porn is that they watch in this movie.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that was, at the time, like, have you seen The Kids Are All Right? Because the lesbians actually watch gay men in porn. What?
And now that's like a punchline on Tim Allen's CBS show. I feel like that's such
With
a
Kat Dennings.
That's like kind of a modern stereotype now. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like, but it was enough, that they have a whole secondary conversation about it in the movie.
Yeah.
And I remember that being in the discourse at the time.
Yeah, that's so interesting. I don't know. I thought the sexuality in this movie was so fun. They like really, again, hit this like really watchable tone where I was like, oh, this is sexy, but it's not like, it just like threaded the needle for me really well. And I thought the porn thing felt very true to life to me. I don't know. I was like Lisa telling on herself maybe, but I love it.
Especially the fact that they were watching were they watching it? They were watching it digitally, right? But it was like a movie they owned.
Yeah, I think it was like a DVD maybe.
Okay, that makes sense. DVD in 2010, because later the son and his friend find it. Yeah.
And then they piss on a dog.
Well,
they can't get over the pissing on the dog. It was crazy.
That doesn't actually come to pass.
No, attempted pissing on a dog. It's just...
In case you're worried, should I watch this? Does a dog get pissed on?
And that is in the plugged in review.
But what do you think about the part where they think their son is gay?
I think it's, again, it's like watching The Godfather, right? It's like, of course, it was the first to ever do it. They did a great job, but then you watch it and it's kind of like, okay, I've seen that before.
Yeah.
I don't know. I did, again, my screenwriting 101 note was kind of like, a lot of this felt like random little vignette slice of life thrown together to be like, family's crazy, huh? And that like kind of felt like one of those moments, but I did find it amusing. And again, probably kind of true to life. Like that felt, I know some LA parents like that. You know what I mean?
I also think there's like the movie or the moment about somebody going off to college.
Yeah.
Obviously Lady Bird, it has this like very pivotal,
sweet.
Yeah. It's like this period of transformation in a family where they're going to go from 4 to 3, and that I thought was sweet. Like it was nice to watch. Like I did think, damn, that must have been a long 8-hour drive to drop her off with
only for her to be like, leave.
Oh yeah.
Well, okay. In your estimation, before we look at the plugged in, focus on the family plugged in, would you say the kids are all right?
Yeah, definitely.
I think so too. I
mean, that's the thing. It's like of all the ways that kids are fucked up by their parents, these kids got none of it. Like, I think it would be traumatic to be like dealing with the fallout of one of your parents having an affair. I think that would be really challenging for them. However, these kids are also old enough to engage in a conversation with their parents about it.
Okay.
And I really like that Julianne Moore like apologizes to them as well as to her wife. But yeah, it's like, oh, he snorts one pill and he like punches his friend who sucks. Like Laser's fine. Joni's obviously fine.
And Joni is named after Joni Mitchell.
Which Mark Ruffalo bonds with Annette Bening over.
That scene is amazing. I mean, after Friendship this year, a prolonged singing at like a normal gathering scene is like one of the funniest things in the world to me.
I guess the only thing that just felt like, now I'm thinking of it in the screenwriting 101 terms that you brought up, it doesn't make sense to me why she cheats with him. Like in the first place, when they first kiss, I just am like, there was no there's chemistry between them when they're hooking up, but it wasn't like he said something to her or about her that she's been dying to hear from her wife for all these years. Like,
yeah,
I understood.
I was gonna say it actually seems like she and her wife are quite happy.
Yeah, I understood her wanting to stray, but it just didn't seem like, oh yeah, I guess I should do it with him. And he's a perfect archetype of like a East Side LA guy.
Cheatable man.
Cheatable man. That is not the type of man you settle down with, but
in Mar Vista.
His restaurant that he owns that is locally sourced, and he has his own
it reminded
garden.
me of wherever they shoot in You, the Penn Badgley show.
Yeah.
The
I've
like
never watched
juice
it.
shack in Abbot Kinney. It's like, God. Ugh.
It's called WYSIWYG, which I only have known as like a web development term.
It's only known as in character in A Christmas Carol or whatever.
It's just like, what is this guy? Who is this guy? Like, he's so
WYSIWYG.
WYSIWYG. Well, I think that this is like, again, this is at the starting line, this movie. And that's sort of like why we have to be grateful for it existing. But
yeah,
there
Godfather of slice of life queer comedies for Sundance.
There's just like so much more interesting that I think has been mined about like growing up as a donor conceived child also. But mostly like I'm thinking about the sort of true crime element of that. Where like since 2010 with people
Four Identical
doing
Strangers or whatever.
Yes, the Identical Strangers. There is a documentary called like Donor 23 or something that is about these children, adult children who have found dozens of siblings because the sperm bank used the same sample too many times. And how like some of them are like, yeah, I am always really concerned when I'm like dating someone that it could be my cousin or my brother because we found so many dozens of people that I'm related to. Yeah. So, as ever, we need to focus on the family more specifically. And this season, we are looking at the plugged in movie reviews. There were some lines in here that I was like, AC is going to crack up about. But this review that the Christian fundamentalists put together of this movie, I mean, I'll say this. They do always find positive elements, even in a movie that they abhor to its DNA. And
yeah, they do have a real they had me in the first half approach.
Yeah. They're like, well, it's morally and philosophically messy, but there are some ways. It's just that everything is in quotation marks because they can't even like begin. This is where like when we talk about this movie, it's like it'll never be progressive enough for us. But the fact that this movie came out and was like heart-rendingly shocking to a lot of people is like the problem of the landscape we're dealing with.
Totally.
Oh my God.
Well, they do, of course, mention threatening to piss on a dog. So I appreciate that.
It is an important negative element.
Yeah, a lot of like the conclusion is very interesting to me in the way you were saying, where he's like, hey, it's a pretty subversive queer film. I gotta say, it doesn't shoehorn in a lot of stereotypes I see in my queer media. It's just like amazing.
I liked that in his conclusion. I felt like this guy had to reference a bunch of like mainstream film criticism to kind of like show his bona fides. Like, no, it's not just me saying this. Here's what Newsweek said. Here's what Salon said. I read Salon, okay?
Okay, this last paragraph is a fucking barn burner. Can I read it?
Please, that's my favorite.
No one needs to be exposed to images of lesbian women having sex while watching gay porn in order to understand that families matter. No one needs to watch a lecherous man have rowdy sex with his lesbian conquest to figure out that infidelity is a sin. No one needs to listen to parents hurling obscenities at each other when the affair surfaces to grasp the important role that honesty and forgiveness play in lifelong love. And it is like, here's where that Letterboxd reviewer who was incredibly woke, that's where these guys meet in the middle a little bit.
Exactly.
And I love that.
This is what's so interesting to me about this review is like, he thinks it's almost more offensive to him that this movie is trying to show that like gay people could live among us and be normal. Like that, I think, is what's so subversive to him. Because when he's like, well, Brokeback Mountain is obviously so off the deep end.
Yes.
But here, they're trying to tell me that how I raise kids with my wife is something two women could do. Like that is what is so offensive.
Literally, he said, but don't think for a second that the result isn't still an attack on family values.
Well,
Girl, chill. That's insane.
For these spiritual elements, usually this section of these reviews is, like all of them, just specific. They'll say, somebody has prayer beads, or they'll say, we see a side character wearing a turban. Like that is something they would list
at
here.
Dinner or something.
Right.
Yeah.
Instead, the spiritual elements just speak generally to the content of the film and say, insofar as the structure of the family unit is ordained by God and marriage between a man and a woman is a sacred covenant conceived by him, the kids are all right, disregards his directives.
So jot that down.
Yeah, like, I don't think they were so rude about Emilia Perez.
That is so high school debate, bringing me back. Like, so just cross out that whole contention, actually. Like, so crazy.
Oh, gosh. Yes, they really were startled by the gay porn that these women watch.
That's a big focus, for sure.
Yeah.
They do seem to like Nick, I will say, rereading the kind of positive elements. They're like, she really is a ball buster, and we love that. Like, Paul is an interloper. Fuck that guy. It's
also like where people consider something to be exploitative or using shock value is just like, there's no center line that holds for that. This just seems like, okay, Gen X, white lesbians with money who live in a big city on the coast. Like, there is very little that they seem to struggle with in this film, except for their own issues. But, now I'm glad that you've finally seen it.
Yeah, I remember this being, as I was saying to you before this recording, like when I gained sentience and understanding like what the Oscars were. And I remember hearing about this film forever and ever that season, but never saw it. And now I've seen one of the best gay movies of all time that the Google AI would have me believe.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
It's very like notable queer films. The kids are all right. It's always on those lists. Yeah.
Yeah, I would like to see one of her, the Ali Sheedy movie you referenced.
Oh, yeah.
And I also just wanted to briefly shout out the co-writer of this movie, Stuart Bloomberg, who directed the movie Thanks for Sharing. And I needed to ask if you have seen this movie.
I'm unfamiliar.
It is Mark Ruffalo as the star. It is about sex addiction and a group of participants in a support group for sex addiction.
I'm going to have to watch this, I think.
Who co-stars with Mark Ruffalo? Tim Robbins, Gwyneth Paltrow, Josh Gad, Jolie Richardson, and Alicia Moore. Do you know who Alicia Moore is?
No.
Pink.
Stephanie Germanotta's Alicia Moore.
Yeah.
Wow, I have to watch that.
Please watch it.
Because, and then I'll see if Plugged In has a review.
Oh my gosh. If there was a more 2012 movie other than the movie 2012 by Roland Emmerich, I can't think of it, but I'm dying for your response video to Thanks for Sharing. Yeah. Well, I did look up and see like some like blog posts where people were talking about like as the lesbian response to this movie, as you sort of mentioned, would be like, cool, so she's just having sex with a man. But for me, my like conclusion watching this after all of these years is that you could swap out Mark Ruffalo for a woman and you'd have pretty much the same movie.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And I mean, of course, there's always something to like what stories are getting funded and what is most seen and not, and who is the first wave of representation, which I think, it makes sense that it's a wealthy white lesbian couple. But I don't know, even now it's like I feel like in the canon of queer cinema it still paints a pretty holistic picture alongside a lot of stuff that's come out recently. I was into it. I found it very watchable. So watchable. It's like Crazy Stupid Love energy.
Wow. Yes, definitely. Well, the next movie after this, a big Sundance movie, is Pariah by Dee Rees. And I feel like even in that year, what bounds have been made for like queer cinema.
Totally. Cool.
Well, that is our show for today.
I can't wait to focus on the family with you, Kat.
It's all I want to do.
I am AC Lamberty. You can find me at AC Lamberty on Instagram and Letterboxd.
I'm Kat Spada, and you can find me at katexmachina on Blue Sky and Letterboxd. And be sure to follow Feminist Frequency everywhere at femfreq.
And if you are a Patreon subscriber, be sure to stick around for the bonus episode. We are going to be talking about Lynn Ramsey's Die, My Love.
Another Focus on the Family classic. If you like our show, please help other people find it by sharing, subscribing, rating, and commenting on your favorite podcast app. Thank you so much for listening.
Bye.